Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kokodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hopefully elect brothers, the 144,000, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai, your brother Radah, with a really quick lesson. So I was reading, I was reading the other day, and I've been awake, I'm gonna say about 7. So what? I woke up September of 2019. Was it 2000? Was it 7? Yeah, September of 2019. I woke up, but I didn't know anything. I just woke up. I heard it was a Sunday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and I was listening to some stuff on the internet. When I was a born again Christian, raised in Christianity, and always had an attraction or an interest into any type of deep thing, occultic thing, stuff like that. I saw my first conspiracy video. It's called Loose Change in 2015, and it shook me to the core because I understood that what I was watching was true. I just couldn't get my mind around it. And it was going into the depths of what really happened with 9/11, the corruption in the government, how Esau, the so-called white man, did all that, but I didn't understand him as Esau, and the documentary Loose Change was not explaining it as such. It was just showing you all this evidence, and so I was staggering. But that was the major. And I remember, I think about a year or two before that, somebody had folded a $20 bill, and when you folded it a certain way, it looked exactly like how you saw. I remember on the news when I was in Arizona, I woke up to go to work, and my girlfriend already had the news on, and she was sitting there crying, and I woke up and was like, "What?" And they were showing the first building had been hit, and then while I was sitting there watching the TV, about maybe 10 minutes went by, and then I literally saw the second building get hit, and it was just like, what? And the enchantment that was. I remember about maybe a year after that, 6 months, 8 months after that, somebody folded a $20 bill, and it looked exactly like what was on TV, and it staggered me because I was like, wait, how the fuck this money, this new $20 bill print has been out for years before it was on TV. I saw the TV, it looks exactly like what I saw on TV. Fucking tripped me out. So all these little moments in time, and I remember the level of devastation that hit my soul, because I was like, how are they doing this? And why would they be doing this? And why would they put that image on the money? And then and then years later, I saw the Loose Change, and then years later, I was listening to the internet, and Deuteronomy 28 was being broken down, and the Spirit grabbed a hold of me, and I exploded inside. I was like, oh my God, this makes sense, but I didn't know anything. And from then on, it was an ongoing journey where I just was blown away. I said all that to say this: in Christianity, Daniel is a very popular book for many reasons, and so is Revelations, but they never explain. They never explain who these systems, these monstrous descriptions of these beast systems with these teeth and these horns and these multiple heads and these animals that are mixed, half this, half that. There's never any explanation racially or nationally of who these people are, and there's a reason for that, because Renaissance Western Christianity is designed to hide who Esau Edom is by reclassifying everyone else on planet Earth, and by reclassifying or moving the goalposts when it comes to geographical locations, so that you cannot pinpoint who Esau Edom is. There is no mention of Esau Edom, Mount Seir, Basra, Idumea in any of the high-powered Christian pastors. Fucking Billy Graham never mentions Esau Edom. Oral Roberts, none of them. Fucking T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, nobody talks about Esau, Edom. No one is really good at breaking down prophecy. In fact, I can't tell you how many times I heard some Christian pastor on TBN say some bullshit like, we can't find America. We can't find America in biblical prophecy because two things must be taking place. Either America has been raptured out of the earth during the tribulation period. That I've heard that, or they've been completely destroyed. And with the pumping of the rapture doctrine, and the deception of America, white Western Renaissance America being the Christian nation based on whiteness, white Jesus, white angels, a white God, a white heaven, and then spreading all that doctrine around the whole world. The subconscious indoctrination in the human mind is the so-called white man is the chosen race of God to spread the gospel of white Jesus to a brown and black world, to a melanated world. Whether you want to admit that or not, I'm speaking to you so-called Christians out there, that is the subconscious truth. Because you look on TV and you see a bunch of, Edomite men going all over Africa, all over Mexico, everywhere, spreading, you see Billy Graham and all these stadiums. Why Jesus loves everybody, blah, blah. And so you think that that's the truth. And yet the Bible says in Revelations that the testimony of Yahushua, the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus, is the spirit of prophecy. So the gospel of Yahushua is connected to prophecy, and prophecy names nations, names races of people by name. And the most named nation of God's wrath, of God's future prophetic judgments, is the nation of Edom, because they are in rulership in the last time, and they have an agreement with all the other nations that are underneath them ruling. We could see that confederacy of nations in Psalms 83, and we see it today when Esau goes all over the world. He's got an agreement with the heads of all those nations, and any nation that doesn't agree with his financial system, his religious way of doing things, he's able to put them down. He's able to militarily put them down for the most part, right? And now he's having problems with Iran. I'm saying all that to say this. I understand that the Bible, the Apocrypha was taken out of scriptures for many reasons. There's many reasons why. First and Second Maccabees shows you, it records the Grecian rulership, which is mentioned here in Daniel, being the third beast system, which you cannot find anywhere else in the Bible. We see the record of the first beast system, which is Babylon. We see the record of the second beast system, which is the Medes and the Persians. But by the time Alexander the Great rulership happens, it's just mentioned in Daniel, but there's nowhere else in the Bible where you see it happening. And then the Roman Empire, which is the fourth beast, that rulership begins during the time when Yahushua, the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus, is living out his earthly ministry. And then the Roman Empire falls and goes under for like 1,000 years, and then it wakes back up again, and that's the Renaissance period. And it's the same race of people coming back out to deceive the earth, and then they establish America. That's the little horn that comes out and establishes America, and from America, which is Mystery Babylon the Great, the golden cup in the Most High's hand, the hammer of the whole earth. From America, the so-called white man has been able to deceive the whole world using the media, Hollywood, his government, the atomic bombs, radio, the internet, everything. He's been able to go all over the earth and force his will, impose his ways on the majority of the planet Earth. And a part of that, a major part of him being able to do that, was the enchantment, the false way of peace known as Renaissance Western Christianity, white Jesus, spreading the so-called gospel of white Jesus to the whole world. When the gospel of Yahushua, The testimony of Yahweh speaks about the destruction of Edom and the hatred that the Most High has for the nation of Edom. But Christianity doesn't mention it. And right here, I said all that just rambling, but right here, so we got the book of Daniel, right? Daniel 7:7. This is the vision that Daniel is receiving of all these beast systems, which are races or nations of people that would rule the earth that are not Hebrew Israelites. And the Hebrew Israelites would be in some form of slavery or captivity when these nations would be in rulership. That's never explained in Christianity. It's just the rulerships are kind of maybe hinted at, but the details are never explained. So right here, Daniel 7:7. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. Remember that word, fourth beast. I want you to get that in your mind. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast. So that means there was 3 other beasts mentioned before this. But this fourth beast is different than the previous 3. Okay? It is dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. It's exceedingly strong. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. Those 10 horns are something. The teeth mean something. The teeth, anytime you got teeth and horns, teeth goes into your military ability. Horns are powers or heads of state, right? And we understand now that this is the EU. In a more ancient time, it goes into your Goths, and your there's these ancient Edomite names that were these 10 horns, but now today it goes into your EU and your NATO. Okay, let's read some more. Verse 8, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of these horns plucked up by the root. Now we understand this now. That little horn is the section of Edomites, or the group of white people who spread the doctrine of the Boston Tea Party, how they left and broke away from Great Britain to come over here to America to pursue religious freedom. That's the cover story. That's all bullshit. That's the lie. That's the very intelligent, deceptive lie that they spread. Oh, we're a bunch of good people that we just want to pursue. We want to pursue the religious freedom. That's a lie, because Esau is the wicked. Malachi 1:3 and 4. They are known as the border of wickedness, and they are the one group, the one nation that is called the beauty of the Chaldeans. Well, what are the Chaldeans? They're your real deal gangster witches. They're the real deal when it comes to witchcraft. And the top 1% of the Edomites have been shown through the Epstein files, studying history, how George Washington established Washington D.C. here in America. It's a pentagram with a compass. He had satanic left-handed occultic wisdom he was displaying at the very beginning of this nation, and everybody like him is the same way, right? So they weren't leaving Britain to pursue religious freedom. They were fulfilling this portion of prophecy right here. The 3 horns that the little horn upplucked was France, Britain, and the Spaniards, because Spaniards are considered Edomites. They're the same. They're just white people that can speak Spanish. So Spain, France, and Great Britain are the 3 horns that this little horn plucked up. And if you go back in, if you pull it up, you will see the War of Independence. That's white on white crime, you guys. It's, if you go into the French and Indian War, that's one of the horns. And if you go into the Spanish War, that's one of these wars. That was the war and it was all Edomites fighting amongst themselves so that the little horn could become the top dog. That's basically what's going on. So you see this right here, right? You see that this is explaining who this beast is. The word beast just describes the nature of a governmental system / rulership, because they do everything apart from the will, apart from the knowledge or the will or the laws of the Most High. They don't do things according to the laws of Moses, or that the way that the Most High gave laws to Moses. They don't operate on that level of wisdom. They operate on the left-handed wisdom. The Lucifer that's on the left-hand side, that wisdom is what they operate on. Okay, and as a result, they're like a beast. Daniel 7:9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. Now this is talking about the end of all the rulerships, right? And the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and his hair, and the hair of his head like pure wool. We understand that the Most High has an afro, just like his son does. And then we understand that in Revelations 4:3, he is likened unto a sardine and a jasper stone. And the sardine and jasper stones are both brown. They're both brown in appearance. So he is a brown, which is what so-called black people are in America. We're not black. We're different shades of brown. Okay, so right here we can see one of the lies that Esau spread all over the earth by saying the Most High and his son look like them when he in fact looks like us. His throne was like a fiery flame and his wheels as burning fire. And those wheels are going into the chariots, the so-called UFOs. Another lie Esau has told the world, that the UFOs are unidentifiable. They are very identifiable here in the scriptures, and they are the military force of the heavens, and they are established on both the right and left-hand sides of Yahweh. And when Yahweh sends a judgment into the earth, whether it be right-handed or left-handed, that's what comes into the earth, an angel inside of one of those chariots, and they carry out the right-handed or the left-handed expression of Yahweh. Christianity has not taught that this is how the Most High works. They have created Satan, a red version, a devil that is fighting God, for the souls of men, and that's not what the scriptures teach. So this is a mention of the fourth beast system in Daniel chapter 7. And in the Bible, where the Apocrypha has been removed, and in Renaissance Christianity, this is as far as the story goes. Nobody knows who this fourth beast system is. They don't know. When it's talking about Esau, Edom, it's talking about all of his different sections of his tribes, going from Spain, France to Britain, and then here in America. It's talking about all the different facets of the realities of the Edomite kingdom. And it also spans time, okay? It starts off during the time of Yahushai's ministry. Then they fall. 70 AD takes place. Then shortly after that, Rome completely falls. It goes dormant, so to speak, for 1,000 years. That's the great chain that the angel, that's Yahushai, in the book of Revelations, wraps around Satan. That Satan is talking about the Edomite rulership. It's talking about the dragon. It's talking about the serpent. It's talking about the so-called white man. Renaissance Western Christianity teaches that is literally the devil, the prince demon Satan himself. No, it's not. It's talking about a nation. It's talking about a race, because after 1,000 years, and we understand through Peter, 1,000 years is as a day, and a day is 1,000 years. After a 1,000-year period, that portion of the Edomites is led out to deceive the earth, to establish its kingdom. That's the little horn coming out, removing the power. Spain, France, and Great Britain getting their independence. That's what the 4th of July is supposed to celebrate. But really, what it was a fulfillment of prophecy of them establishing themselves above all their brethren, and then from there, attempting to move and take over the entire planet and deceive the whole planet. Also having us, the Hebrew Israelites, in slavery. That's the dragon with his tail casting us down to the earth, starting from the Renaissance period and then completing on this side of the planet over here in America. You got to understand how to break all this stuff down. So here we see the so-called white man in the book of Daniel. And now let's jump to 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, and it connects the eagle to this same beast, which is it identifies who Esau Edom is, okay? So let me pull up 2nd Esdras 11 or 12 and 11. So 2nd Esdras 12 and 11. So Uriel is breaking down the vision to Esdras, right? So look at this. Let's go up some. Let's just read. So let's start this 2nd Esdras chapter 12, verses 1. And it came to pass, while the lion spake these words unto the eagle, look, I saw, and behold, the head that remained, and that lion is talking about Yahushua. And behold, the head that remained, and the four wings appeared no more, and the two went unto it, and set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small. Now, I don't have the skill to break down this prophecy, but it has been explained on YouTube by some brothers out of GMS, and this is mentioning the kingdom right before. This is talking about Rome right after 70 AD. There's a period of time after 70 AD, and then Rome finally falls. So that's what this is talking about. But it links and it calls Rome, which is the fourth beast, it also calls them the eagle, right? Because they're both, if they're both the fourth, this group of people, this nation of people is both the fourth beast mentioned in Daniel, and also it is called the eagle, just like the eagle is mentioned for Esau, Edom in the book of Obadiah. Okay? Now listen, verse 3, and I saw, and behold, they appeared no more. The whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. Then awaked I out of the trouble and trance of my mind. So he was seeing a vision, and from great fear, and I said unto my spirit, Lo, this hast thou done unto me, in that thou searchest out the ways of the highest. Lo, yet am I weary in my mind, and very weak in my spirit, and little strength is there in me, for the great fear wherewith I was afflicted this night. Therefore will I now beseech the highest, that he will comfort me unto the end. And I said, Lord, that bearest rule, if I have found grace before thy sight, and if I am justified with thee before many others, and if my prayer indeed become up before thy face, comfort me then, and show me thy servant the interpretation. I need understanding of what you just showed me. Wisdom, knowledge, and then understanding. Open it up so that I can comprehend it on a more natural level, because what you just showed me is very high. Comfort me, it's a dark saying. It's a riddle. Open me then, and show me thy servant the interpretation and plain difference of this fearful vision, that thou mayest perfectly comfort my soul. For thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last times. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision. So he just saw the last times, and an eagle was mentioned. I'm going to say that again. He just saw a vision of the last times, which everybody understands that we are in today. Whether you're Christian, whether you're an atheist, whether you're in this truth, everybody knows there's some different shit going on right now. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision that you saw of the last times. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. Chill, stop right there. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. So the Apocrypha, 2nd Esdras, verse 12, or chapter 12, verse 11, identifies the eagle, just like Obadiah identifies the eagle with Edom. We're going to pull that. And then it identifies the eagle in Obadiah and in 2nd Esdras to the fourth beast in Daniel. Chapter 7, bro. So look, let's go back real quick. Let me go back. Let's go back. So right here, after this, we gotta keep doing this. Daniel 7:7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and exceedingly strong, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. All right, let's go back to 2nd Esdras. Salakia, 2nd Esdras, boom. So right there, the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. Let's go down. Oh, Salakia. Let's go. So, verse 12. But it was not expounded unto him. Remember when the angel told him to seal it up? There was even a time when he didn't understand the visions. There's even a verse, I don't want to pull it, it's in there, where he's staggering at what he saw, and he's even not, he passes out because he's so overwhelmed with what he saw, and then he can't sleep because he's so overwhelmed with what he saw. And then a voice is told, seal it up, for the vision is not until the end. So he's got to seal it up. And so now Esdras is being told, I'm going to give you some more understanding of what we told your brother Daniel. Why? Because the Most High shares his secrets with his servants, the prophets, and the prophets are only Hebrew Israelite men. He doesn't share this stuff with the other races. And the only reason why Esau was able to get the prophecies and make a counterfeit was because we went into captivity, and then they took our scrolls and they studied them. They had time to study them. They had time to look at them. And then that's why they took the book out. That's why they took the Apocrypha out, because they're like, oh shit, we're being spoken about to these prophets, and we're being identified as this and this, but we got to rule the world, but we have to change our identity. Esau shall no longer be able to hide himself. I have made Esau bare, which means I have uncovered him. I have opened him up, because the Most High has allowed Esau to hide himself to accomplish what he's accomplished in prophecy, but now he's uncovering them. So look, behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth, and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms that were before it. It's talking about the so-called white man. But the so-called white man doesn't want you to look at him like this. The so-called white man wants you to look at him as a Christian, as a little docile creature. I'm not a threat to you. I don't cuss. I shave my beard. I wear suits and ties. Look, I'm your friend. White Jesus says he loves everybody. Doesn't Jesus look like me? Look, I'm a representative of Jesus. When his name is Yahushua, and he's a so-called black man, and he hates these motherfuckers. Dude, you got to understand, Renaissance Western Christianity was the equivalent to when a white man, an Edomite man, goes out into the world, to the jungle, into the forest, and puts on camouflage clothing, paints his face green and black, and sprays fucking bear piss or deer piss on him, and sits up next to a tree, and you can't tell him apart from the forest, and he's got a fucking blow dart, or a goddamn crossbow, or even a fucking gun with a silencer on it, and he's got a duck collar in his fucking mouth, or some kind of goddamn whistle that sounds like a doe in heat, and he's calling you toward him. That's what Jesus loves you. And the closer you get to him, he's just going to pluck your ass off. The whole time he was telling the world about white Jesus, he was also dropping bombs on people. He was spreading bioweapon diseases. He was fucking accusing every melanated race on planet Earth, and then taking over their nations, stealing their fucking oil, destabilizing their governments, while he was telling the world about white Jesus. And everybody in fucking America just goes along with it, talking about God bless America, USA, USA, God bless America, in God we trust. And the lower level Edomites have no idea that they're fucking Edomites. They think they're white, which there's no such thing as white people, and they think they can have a relationship with the God of Yasharallah through some white Jesus when his name is Yahushua. It's very crafty once you see what they did. Behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon the earth, and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms that were before it. So I just wanted to show you this part right here. Look, the eagle whom thou sawest, I'm going to take a picture of this. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. And we understand that that's the fourth beast that nobody in Christianity seems to know anything about. Now let's get Obadiah. Look at Obadiah. Look at Obadiah. Look, the vision of Obadiah. There's only one chapter, so it's Obadiah 1. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? They're very proud people. Verse 4, Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Now that's a token. What is this? You got to have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. When did they set their nest among the stars? When they started launching satellite systems all over the atmosphere. When they faked the moon landing. Let's get that. The eagle has landed. The eagle, and there's a reason why they said this. The eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. Look.
Clark has Eagle Houston, we see you on the steerable, over.
Now this is, even though this is an enchantment, now they're able to get up into the atmosphere, but they're not able to get past the Van Allen belt. And they did not physically land on no damn moon, but they are able to go up pretty high, okay? So this is a lie. This shows you their insanity. They got fucking insane. They got pride when it comes to telling lies. The power of the television and the power of the radio, and how they all have etiquette. They understand they can position multiple bodies and get them all organized to tell a lie to the world, and they'll stick to that fucking lie. They are the only race of people on planet Earth that does this type of shit, you guys. And when you bring it out like this, people get fucking offended, but it's the fucking truth. You are not going on TikTok every day and seeing low levels Joe Sixpack Edomite after Edomite uncovering tons and tons of lies from the Moabites, the so-called Chinese. You're not seeing people go on TikTok and uncovering all of these lies from the so-called Hamites, the Africans. No, you're seeing people every day expose the stratagem and the lies of the so-called fucking white men. You're not going on TikTok every day and seeing people uncover the vast amount of lies told by the so-called blacks, the tribe of Judah, the Hebrew Israelites. You're not seeing that. You're seeing people get online and expose the insane amount of lies of one specific race, the so-called fucking white man. And this is one of them.
Roger, Eagle, Vanguard.
See, they just said eagle. Why? Because the eagle is it's the highest flying bird. It's a bird of prey. It's also a thief.
Roger, how does it look? The eagle has wings. Roger.
See, they said eagle already like 3 times, and they're going to say it towards the end. I'm going to fast forward this shit. Hold on.
Rollers, gonna go for landing. Retro, go. Fido, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Telcom, go.
See how they all sound quirky as fuck? They sound harmless, right? That image, that Golly Wally, Leave It to Beaver image, that Happy Days, Gilligan's Island image, you got to understand, every single one of those people I just mentioned, all those images, super nice. Oh, I'm so quirky. I can't hurt you. I got a squeaky voice. What the fuck were our people going through when those TV shows were on TV? We were fighting for our lives just to live at the hands of who? Those very same fucking people, you guys. It's really a trip when you see how Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, has fashioned and created this motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? They really are a weak race of people, but they're extremely deadly in how they premeditate, think, and strategize against your fucking ass. This is why you can't trust them. You can't let your guard down. They will fucking literally stab you in the fucking back.
Go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go for landing. Altitude 42.
Because all of this right here, this is all one huge, massive fucking lie. This is a lie. This whole production right here was broadcast all over the earth. Why? To make them look like they were somebody special. Same way they did white Jesus. Same way they've done, oh, these poor people, these Africans over here, if you just send us 10 cents, we'll feed them. And all that money went into fucking bank accounts.
Houston, you're a go for landing, over. Roger, Tom, go. Guidance, you happy? Go. Copy it. 35 degrees, 700. 5 forward, coming down nicely, 200 feet. 4.5 down, 5.5 down. 100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward. Okay, 75 feet. Guys looking good, down a half. 6 forward. 60 seconds. Lights on. Forward. Forward. 40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. Straight shadow. 4 forward, drift into the right a little. 30 seconds forward, drift. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
All right, you heard it, right? That went all over the airwaves, all over the world. They are identifying themselves with the eagle in the place where they are making the stars, where they're making their nest. Okay, and that's what it says. You got to see it. You got to see it for what it says, man. So look, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down. And it's literally from that time period. So from that time period on, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai woke up the Israelites, and his truth began to spread throughout the earth. And we began to wake up, and America has been slowly falling apart ever since then, bro. So you see that the Bible mentions the eagle. You see that the scriptures mention the fourth beast. Okay. Let me see. You see in Daniel 7, the vision of the four beasts and the fourth beast. Let's get it. Let me see. 10 horns off the kingdom, 10 kings. These shall arise, and others shall rise after them. These are the. So this is the fourth beast mentioned. Hold on. So right here, I consider the horns right here. After this, I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast. 7, verse 7. So that fourth beast, right, is talking about Rome, Greece. All right, it's talking about Esau, Edom, 10 horns. You know what I'm saying? It's also Revelations, the 7-headed dragon, the 10 horns. All of it's the same, and the eagle. And so when you get to 2nd Esdras, let's go to 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras. Boom. And this is why they took the Apocrypha out of the scriptures. One of the reasons. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. And then you just saw them say that they are the eagle when they fake moon landed. And now if you go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, 2nd Esdras 11, let's just say 30. So, let me see. God dang it. Let's do this. Boom. All right. So look. So this is a prophecy. So this is spoken to Rome by Yahushai when he's wrapping them around with the chain in Revelations. That's what this scene is. But this is also what he's going to do in Revelation, in 2nd Esdras 13, but instead of wrapping them around with a chain, he's going to completely eviscerate them with the sword of his mouth, fire, with the ICBM missiles and the concentrated fire from the chariots. But 2nd Esdras chapter 11. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, verse 37. So verse 37 down, this is when Yahushai, the angel in Revelations, takes that great chain and wraps it around the dragon. That's what this scene is right here. Verse 37, and I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the woods, and I saw that he had sent out of a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee. He always honors his father. Yahweh B'Hashem Yashai always honors his father. Art not thou it that remaineth of the four beasts? So now he's speaking to this eagle. If you go further up, you're going to see an eagle described up here, okay? And GMS does an excellent breakdown of all the feathers and heads of this eagle. So look, verse 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathers, wings, and 3 heads. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds of the air blew on her and were gathered together. So that what if she's spreading her wings over the whole earth, what does that mean? That's rulership. The fourth beast is the last rulership before Jacob. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of the follows. So you see that this is an eagle. So the whole time in the first half of this chapter, an eagle is being explained. And then Yahushua comes back. 37, and behold, lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the wood, and I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle. Okay, so when you go into 2nd Esdras 12 and 11, Uriel says that the eagle is the fourth beast mentioned in Daniel. It's a plain connection. It doesn't take any type of wisdom on it. That one is so plain, that's why they took out the Apocrypha. Whoa! They saw that. Oh, shit. That's a connecting point. Revelation, 2nd Esdras 12 and 11 connects the eagle to the fourth beast in Daniel 7, connecting those two to Obadiah 1, connecting those 3 to Revelations 12, connecting them to Isaiah 63, 1 through 4, connecting them to Lamentations 4, 21 and 22. There's no fucking getting out of this. And then it's even in Ezekiel, I am against thee, O Mount Seir. Mount Seir is Esau, Edom. That's where they started. This is, once you understand who the so-called white man is based on what scripture says about him, it's fucking over, dude. And then you understand this precept. Let's get it. So hold on, I gotta come back again. I'm gonna have to come back and get this. Oh shit, now I just brain farted it. Oh. Woo! Esau shall no longer be able to hide himself. What does this even mean? Well, once you see all these precepts that identify the so-called white man with the eagle and the fourth beast, and the seven-headed dragon called Satan, that old serpent, and the devil, and you understand that that's not talking about Satan, the actual prince, demon, spirit, that's talking about a race of people, all of them, even the low-level white people who don't know anything, they're still a part of it, because even in their deception, they help deceive the simple, because they are so deceived by their own fucking people that they actually believe that they can be Christians. And so they walk around America, oh, I'm such a nice little white person. I love white Jesus. He's not white. His name ain't Jesus. And that gospel is not the truth. But I'm going to give you some food. I'm going to feed you. And they're in their position of rulership. And people confuse that for goodness. No, you're just deceived by your own people. And you're giving us the crumbs from your fucking rulership. That's all it is. They're not good people, you guys, once you understand why they have what they have. They don't have what they have because they're good. They have what they have because they're the fourth beast system. And they just got everything because they're on top. Even the low-level Edomites have it good. And there are low-level Edomites that have it bad, but that also is a testament to how wicked Esau is at the top, because there should be no poor fucking Edomites. But that's not our fault. That's their fucking fault. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. When you go into the blue letter, Jeremiah 49. When you go into the blue letter, look at this. Look how deep this. But I have made Esau bare. No good. Look. Look at this. The word bare. Look at it, man. And so the Most High is doing this. How though? Through the prophets, because it's time. We are in that time. But I have uncovered. So you go into uncovered? Look. To uncover, to remove. What? There's a covering. That also goes into the mark of Cain. The mark of Cain is a covering that has been placed on the Edomites to keep people from wanting to judge them. This is why they've been able to get away with so much crime, and people just accept it. That partially goes into the mark of Cain. To remove, to depart, to go into exile, to uncover oneself, to discover or show oneself, to reveal himself, to be uncovered, to be disclosed. You know what I'm talking about, disclosure? Well, the so-called white man is up for disclosure. Everybody needs to understand that he's been unidentifiable. He's been unidentifiable this whole time, calling himself white when he's actually red. He's not a Christian. He's the biblical nation of Edom. To be revealed, to be removed. So look, uncover nakedness, to disclose, discover, to make known. Because they were concealed this whole fucking time. They've been operating in an alias. I have uncovered secret places. Hide himself. Let me see. Hold up. Where's the bear? But I have made, okay, boom, right here. Look at this one. I have made Esau bare, to strip off, lay bare. To make bare, to draw out, to strip off, to lay bare. Okay? So the Most High is doing this because it's time. Just like he put the mark of Cain on him in the beginning, he's now at the end taking it off of him. Does this make sense? Okay, let's go back. Now, let's read the, Second Esdras, you bastard. Second Esdras, Salakia. Let's go back to, is this 11? Yep, let's go down. So look, now I'm going to read this because this is what's happening. Look, and I'll be done. And I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the wood. This is Second Esdras 11:37 down. And I saw that he sent out of a man's voice unto the eagle, the fourth beast, the so-called white man, and said, Hear thou, and I will talk with thee, and the highest shall send thee. Again, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, the head son, our most beloved elder brother, always honoring his father, Yahweh Tazabawath, Yahweh of hosts, our Father by his blood, the spirit of adoption, the water Yahushai. Okay? Verse 39. Art not thou it that remaineth of the four beasts? Verse 39 also bears witness to the fact that Esau has been hiding himself. He's been saying he's somebody else when he's not. And Yahushai is putting all the precepts together. He's coming at the appointed time for judgment, the Yahweh Shabbat, and he's imposing. Now again, this took place in the past, shortly after 70 AD, when the Edomites, when they were bound in Europe for 1,000 years, when Yahushua put that chain around them, and they were not able to deceive the earth for a while, and then they've been released during the Renaissance period. But this is also, again, he's going to do the same thing again, but this time he's going to come to destroy them. And that's what Yahweh Shabbat is. But this is exactly what he's going to do. Hear thou, and I will talk with thee. He's coming with an arrest warrant. He's coming with a warrant for judgment. And he's the one that has the authority. He's got the military backup. Those are the chariots. That's 2nd Ezra chapter 13, Revelations 12. He can fight Esau and defeat him in 1 hour. Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world? Those are big words in a world where the so-called white man says everything's about him. Everything's about the so-called fucking white man. And it's not just Trump. It's every family that is around Trump. They talk and think like Trump does. They think everything on planet Earth is about them. The whole world is for me to steal and take and murder and fuck and suck. And Epstein Island, the whole planet is my Epstein fucking island. I get to rape, grape, fuck everybody. That's how they think, you guys. Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? Verse 40, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness. Don't we see the so-called white men basically setting up a digital system to take over the world? They are the ones putting data centers everywhere. They are the ones telling you, when you get sick, we're going to stick you in a needle with our medicine. You got to take it. No other race is doing this. All right? Over the whole compass of the earth. They are the ones stealing in front of everybody and no one's going to jail. They are the ones that got the Epstein Islands and no one's going to jail. But the minute somebody black or brown steals one fucking 5-cent piece of bubble gum, they're going to put your ass in jail for 2 fucking life sentences. And they're going to put your face all over their news, right? Okay, they're the ones that are in control right now. And over the whole compass of the earth, with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. All they have been doing is lying. 41, for the earth hast thou not judged with the truth, 42, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Has not the white man been doing that all over the earth? But he says he's good, and he says you're bad. But this is what is being said about him in the spirit realm by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. 43, therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled, and therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed. The earth doesn't get a break until the so-called white man is removed from power, you guys. Our salvation, the Hebrew Israelites, the elect, the hopeful elect of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, our salvation is connected to the destruction of the rulership of the so-called white man, Esau Edom. Lamentations chapter 4, verses 21 and 22. Verse 46, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. I want to pull a video that I just did a lesson on yesterday.
What happened? We tried to...
Oh, dang it. So let me find it real quick.
Reality is because I have seen.
And this is what Yahweh Shai is really going to do to the world of Esau Edom. This is them bragging about what they're about to do. And they are going to kill a lot of people. They are going to pull off some stuff to fulfill prophecy. But Yahweh Shai is going to do to them what they think to do to us.
At dome. Anyway, here we go. Watch it together. Here we go. Reality is because I have.
That's what Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is going to do to Esau Edom world, Edom's world. 2 Esdras 6:9. Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Seen that dome. Anyway, here we go. Watch it together. Here we go.
I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem HaKadosh, and double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone of whom I learned from. That's your brother Radah. Shalom.